name's Gavin. I'm from South Africa, and this is my second retreat at Spirit Vine. I'm a geologist with a science background, geology and physics. So I've come from a very square paradigm of how things work. And thanks to my wife, Fortini, who is here, I've been stepping out of that paradigm in the last couple of years and discovering new horizons, and the self being probably the biggest horizon of them all.
Hi, my name is Fortini. I'm from South Africa. This is my third time at Spirit Vine, and I keep returning because for me ayahuasca is an incredible source of insight and healing. I've tried taking ayahuasca in South Africa where I live, and the quality of the experience is nowhere near the same as coming to Brazil and the source of the plant and being in a retreat center with people who really know what they're doing. Ayahuasca has shown me incredible things and realizations that I don't think I would have ever come to myself, and they, I feel, made me easier to live with myself and be able to relate to people and understand the effect I have on people better in my life. It's, improved definitely my quality of life and also the quality of my relationships. And I hope to get more insight as to my patterns and stuck behaviors and obsessivenesses. First time I came, I was going through a terrible breakup with someone, and I was really very broken and felt I was in my 40s actually, and I thought, well, I've had so many disastrous relationships that I'm destined to be alone because I just don't know how to do that. And the first retreat I went on, ayahuasca showed me who I was in a relationship and who I attracted in a relationship, and it was so clear. It was like unbelievable. I chose people that were like my father, critical and unpleasable, or how I perceived my father to be. And literally 6 months later, 3 months later, I met Gavin, and we're both, we got married. He was 50 and I was 45, so so it's not like you think you'd find someone where you're young and pretty or whatever it is, but actually we got found each other later in life, and it was the right person. For once I chose the right person to be with, someone who could respect me for who I am, someone who could support me in the way I wanted, in the way I needed, that I didn't even know I needed. And that for me, I think, was as a result of dealing with my relationship issues through ayahuasca. And then we got married a year later, and we've been married for 4 years now, 4.5 years now. And we go through a lot of things, difficulties still, as any relationship does. But for me, the lessons I learn in ayahuasca, and I keep returning to them, of the 4 retreats I've been to, I bring into my relationship and kind of remember how, magical things can be, or how to deal with difficult situations, or who I am in a situation, or in one particular ceremony I experienced being my father dying, and how he died regretting that he spent most of his life regretting. And that taught me great gratitude, and that's helped me in my relationship to be grateful for the people who love me and the people who I love, and not to regret and look back and look at what I don't have. And that's made my experience of life quite full and magical, I find ayahuasca has made it easier for me to live with myself. I don't know if it's made me easier to live with as a person.
Well, I think quite a large part of the conversation that I was having with myself this retreat, and the perceptions of others, perceptions of self, are incredibly, or are potentially incredibly beneficial to a relationship, because I think that very often when one's having trouble in a relationship, most of that trouble is in one's own head. So You know, that's the perception thing. You're perceiving that that someone else is causing you some kind of grief, but in actual fact, you're trying to deal with some torment in your own head more than anything else, and that's spilling over, and it becomes a negative feedback loop with one's partner.
Also, I think being at a retreat as a couple, you can say things and you talk about your experiences without it being confrontational to the other person. It's, you know, it's a safe space where people are understanding that what you're going through, and if you talk about the other person in some way, they don't take offense because they're understanding the nature. And so it's really an opportunity to have couples therapy, really, and also seeing other couples or other people struggling to find relationships, because you don't necessarily have to be a couple, because people come with relationship issues or having failed relationships or divorces or things like that they talk about, and you think, oh, that happens to me in my relationship, and then you can both hear that and go, you know, I can look at him and think, oh, you know, geez, that happened to us or whatever, and then you can think, well, that's how that person is resolving.